Barbara Caserta.
Hi, Gene. How are you?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Barbara Caserta.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me once again.
Of course, Barbara Caserta.
Okay. So you'll be back to Italy on June 29 in Lucca this time. And you just announced also the final shows in New York, which I'm desperately trying to get tickets for. But did Eugene stop for a minute and start to realize completely this is actually the end of an era in history, in your career, in your life?
Yes, but 50 years is enough. And the important thing is to make sure you stop when you're still good, when you can still stand and, deliver the goods. So we introduce ourselves with, you wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world. We can't do this when we're 80. You can't do it like blues players. B.B. King played until he died, sitting in a chair. Can't do that. And
yes, I understand
around,
that. I do understand that, but I mean the feeling by your heart and soul.
The feeling is proud of what we have done. Most of all, we're proud of our fans. There are no better fans in the world. You know that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, it's going to be happy because of the amazing journey that we had, but it's also going to be sad because, everything comes to an end. But it's a new chapter. So the end is also the beginning. After we stop touring, there will be a Kiss cartoon show, and Kiss movies, and games, and Kiss World in Las Vegas. Kiss will continue. Maybe there will be a Kiss Broadway kind of show. There will be other things, but we have to stop touring because you want to be. Look, there are boxers who are the world champions who stayed in the ring too long. They get knocked out. There are many bands who have been around a long time, and when you see them and they're not so great, you talk about, oh, they were fantastic when I was 20 years old. You should have seen them then. We don't want to do that. We have been getting better and better. The last time we were in Europe, maybe it was the best we ever played. There's no heartache. Tommy and Eric bring new life to Kiss. There's no drugs, no alcohol, not even smoking. Nobody smokes in the band, nothing. Everybody shows up on time. Everybody is happy and loves. We love playing for the fans. And Italy, oh, come on. Nothing better than that. We have some of the best memories from Italy. But it's going to be sad. I know the very last show, I'm going to be crying. The amazing thing that 50 years ago, we started at Electric Lady Studios doing a demo. Eddie Kramer, who did
these
Jimi
days,
Hendrix.
by the way, it was March, so.
That's right. Yeah. With Eddie Kramer, did the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. And I'm going to be doing something at Electric Lady a few days after the last show. You'll find out about it. And
yes, I read about it, but what kind of experience will be, are you going to record any record maybe of the Gene Simmons band during those events in London and New York?
You have to go on the website and find out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was downtown. We started rehearsing at 10 East 23rd Street. 23rd Street. That's only 10 blocks from Madison Square Garden on 33rd Street. And it's makes sense for us to end where we began.
Do you have any special surprises in the plans for the very last show, like, guests maybe streaming for the fans that cannot be there, since Madison Square Garden is big, but maybe not big enough?
Oh no, we could have played 10 nights. There are too many tickets, and we appreciate that. But this is the right way to do it. And yes, there will be surprises. But for the fans, the older fans, the ones who've been around for 50 years,
Yeah.
they're old, and some of them want to see Ace and Peter. The newer fans never saw them, and they don't know. But the older fans wonder about Ace and Peter. Well, I asked both Ace and Peter a few times, do you want to come out for the encores? Do you want to do some shows? And they both said no.
Okay.
So I don't know what to say about that.
We have time.
That's
Maybe
right.
they will change their mind.
I don't know, but it's always welcome. But there are many other big stars, superstars, who want to jump up on stage
Yeah.
and play a song, but we're not sure about that. Maybe the best thing to do is to end the way we started. 4 guys with guitars, no keyboards, no synthesizers, nothing, just playing.
You know that a lot of fans are not believing that this is the real end of touring. And, I'm reading a lot of comments, it's not the end. It's not going to be the last Italian show, but I know it's going to be. What kind of different beasts, will Kiss be after the end of the road? And are you maybe thinking about occasional events, like, maybe residencies? You talked about the Broadway show, but what about, a Guinness World Record show at Central Park, maybe next summer? Is that an option?
I don't think so. I don't know all the details, but I know in my heart 50 years is the time to stop.
Okay.
That's the right thing. If you're Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, quit when you're the champion. Don't go past. And there are many bands who are, in their 70s, and some are in their 80s. And, age is the enemy.
Yeah.
In rock. Rock, age is the enemy. It's also the enemy to, sorry to say, females. Marilyn Monroe was the perfect superstar. She died when she was young.
Yeah.
That's it. So you will always be forever young. And you have to be gracefully and thank the fans. You have to know when to get off the stage. That's out of respect for the fans. But what will happen after Kiss? I'm sure Paul will do things, and I have my Gene Simmons band. It's very surprising how successful and how fast my side band became. We headlined festivals and played Australia, South America, all over when Kiss had time off.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll be doing some shows because I love playing. And Paul has art, and we have restaurants and all kinds of other things.
Yeah, I know. But is there anything,
Kiss,
Gene, sorry about that, but is there anything that you never did, maybe business-wise or not, that you like to get involved to now that you'll have, some more time to dedicate to it?
Well, I've also started my film company again, Simmons Hamilton. We have 5 movies that we're doing, one right after the other. That starts soon. There will be other things, but nothing will compare to being on stage with Kiss even recording is not as much fun as being on stage because the fans are there. The fans make everything happy. You know, parties are wonderful. You have a good time at a party, but if you're the only one in the party, you don't have a good time. It's other people, friends, people like that who make the party great.
Yeah.
So just playing in a studio is okay, but the only time you're really happy is when you're together with your friends and your family, the fans.
Is there anything that you will not miss at all of touring with Kiss?
No.
The entire package you're gonna miss, okay? Even the
Or,
patients, you know, putting the makeup on every night.
well, every girl understands that. Or it's easy for a girl to wake up in the morning and run out, go to the gym, or just do anything. But if you want to go out and be around other people, and you know that they're going to look at you, then girls put on high heels and makeup, and it takes them 2 hours to get ready, right?
Yeah. And about the Off the Soundboard series, or, you know, the Destroyer or Creatures of the Night box sets, the Alive tour reissue, how, you know, much you and Paul are involved firsthand on details and choices related to these releases. And by the way, Poughkeepsie
We are.
84 is really a very interesting pick.
We are deeply involved in the mixes, song choices, what the packaging should look like. Yes, we are involved. Yeah.
Okay, so 100%, you don't have a team taking care of all the stuff.
No.
Oh,
No.
that's great. So you're still involved 100%, and that's great. And about spinning.
Well, Kiss is our baby. How would you ever let anybody else take your baby and to take care of it? No.
Sure. And about the Spinning Gold movie, were you involved in that at any level as well?
The answer is that a guy named Neil Bogart, who was the president of Casablanca Records, I had the rights to his life story, and I got a deal at Paramount Pictures many years ago to do his life story, and Mike Myers was going to be Neil Bogart. And then, it didn't happen. That's what happens with movies. And then many years later, Neil Bogart's son, Timothy Bogart, put together this Spinning Gold. So we are not involved in that at all.
Because, I noticed that the official Kiss logo is there, the music too, but your makeup, not quite. It's not the same.
Yeah. Well, but we were not involved. So,
okay.
The lawyers wanted to sue, and they wanted to do all kinds of things. And we said, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's good. And any news about the Kiss biopic that you talked about?
Yes.
Okay, so it's still in the plans.
Yes, we have a great director, the guy that did Pirates of the Caribbean, with Johnny Depp. Very good script. Yes, it's moving forward.
Okay, but you don't have a release date already.
We didn't even start filming.
Okay,
People don't understand. You meet a girl and she says, "I'm pregnant," and then next week you say, "Where's the baby?" And then the week after that you say, "Well, you said you were pregnant. Where's the baby?" And you keep asking week after week after week. People don't understand that movies take years.
Good point. Okay. So you start filming maybe at the end of the road, okay?
The movie will come out after we stop touring.
Okay. Back to the shows, to touring. Every show, Gene, the Spitfire and Blood numbers are tense and very intense indeed. I was wondering, how is your mindset in that very moments? It still feels like, flying in another dimension after all these years, that magic process which begins putting the makeup on.
There are two things that happen, and I can talk about it now, but when it happens, it's different.
Uh-huh.
It's when you are about to get on a roller coaster. Know what that is?
Yes, sure.
When you're about to get in a roller coaster, in your mind, and you can talk about it, you say, okay, I'm going to go up and down and around and around. So you understand, but only with words. But until you get onto the roller coaster and it happens and your heart starts going crazy and you scream when you go down really fast, it doesn't take over your body like possession, like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
So boxers are the same. When a boxer gets ready to go and box, he understands he's going to be in the ring, he's going to punch, and he's going to get punched back. But until he gets into the boxing ring and gets punched in the face or punches somebody else, that's a different experience completely. And there could be 10,000 people in the boxing arena, but the boxer only sees the other boxer right in front of him. That's the only way I can think about it. I have to concentrate when those things happen, fire breathing and everything. I forget about the concert, I forget about the people, and I look right at the flame. Because if I do it wrong, I catch fire.
Sure. And it happened once.
6 times.
Wow. And considering this, Jekyll and Hyde thing, the demon and Gene Simmons, the stage persona and the man, are two sides of the same coin since day one. But who dominates who the most? And did this, evolve or change much through the years? And will this change forever after, the end of the road?
Good question. I can talk about it now, but it's still, when it happens, it's a change. When I get up on stage and we do the shows, I go in and out of consciousness. When I go deep, I know that I've been hurt and have black and blue marks on my arms and legs when I bump into something, but I don't feel the pain until 2 or 3 hours after the concert.
Mm-hmm.
And it is true in the beginning when we first started playing, I was deep in it the whole concert. It was like another dimension. I was deep. And I can think about it now.
Mm.
But when you do it for a long time, you learn to control it. When you see a wild horse, in the beginning, when you get on the horse, it's always crazy. And if you can stay on the horse a long time, you can learn to control it. But it's still a horse.
Yeah. And is history a perfect tale, or there's something you'd change in hindsight? Maybe a record you wouldn't release or anything?
Well, of course, there are. When you go on a long trip, you're always going to make mistakes, go on the left or to the right when you should have stayed straight. Life is a journey, and working is a journey, and being in a band is a journey. And not everybody is designed to run a marathon. Some people can only run a short time. It's very sad for me that Ace and Peter couldn't stay in the band. They were in and out of the band 3 different times,
Yeah.
and they were out of the band only because of themselves. They didn't do anything wrong. They did everything wrong to themselves, drugs and alcohol and all that. And it's very sad because we are having the best time, proud, and unfortunately, Ace and Peter will not be here to enjoy it. They can only talk about the past, but we can talk about today. And that is, it's an amazing feeling. You can't buy that feeling anywhere. Um, so, what can I say? Again, it's going to be happy, but it's also going to be sad because everything has a beginning and end. Look, at some point, life is really 2 chapters. In the beginning, your mother and your father feed you and they make sure that you have a roof over your head. They take care of you. You don't have to worry about anything. When I was a baby, I didn't even wipe my shit. My mother wiped my ass. And then you grow up, and at some point, you have to leave home. And that's when you have to start taking care of yourself, taking care of the bambinos.
Yes.
Any, any kids you have, then you become. So things change. And when you leave home, it's happy because you're excited about the future, but it's also sad.
Okay, so we have time for just one last question. I want to ask you, Gene, um, are the early days and the tough times the best school of rock in the business, or it is, success that really teaches you how to become immortal? And if Gene Simmons, 1973, could give a tip, no, sorry, Mr. Gene Simmons, 2023, could give a tip to Gene Simmons, 1973, the young and restless one, what would you say to him?
I would say, Gene, don't change a thing. You're doing it the right way.
Okay.
The right way is be committed to it, be responsible, show up on time, do your job. No drugs, no alcohol, not even smoking. And girls, that's okay. Take as much as you want because this is before AIDS. So everything that I was doing, I would do again. But there is no other way. It's just hard work. And there is no school of rock. People talk about it. You can't teach that. You can't teach driving 10 hours in a car together every day to get to the next show and then doing a show and then sleeping in the car to the next show, doing 200 shows a year, no vacations, no kids, no family, no girl, nothing, not even girlfriends. You don't have time for that. You can have a girlfriend for the night or two,
Yeah.
but no relationships. You are married to each other in the band, and you live or die by that marriage. You depend like a football team. When I pass the ball, my teammate has to do his job, otherwise we don't get the goal. And or as you say, goal.
A goal,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's tough. They don't teach you that. Today you get Italy's Got Talent and X Factor and America's Got Talent, and you hear people get up because they sang in the shower and they sing la 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 la, la and then they win a prize la 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 la. They have no idea how backbreaking and how much hard work goes into becoming a star.
Yeah.
You have to go out and play in little towns nobody ever heard of, to nobody, and still be great every day. Like politicians have to go day after day after day and meet new people in new towns and try to convince people that they're good. So they can teach you how to sing, they can't teach you how to work. Work is the most important part of it. Not to have a job, but to love work.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Gene, for your time. I can't wait to hug you again.
Wear some heels.
Okay, I will. Promised. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Have a nice day, Gene.
Stay well.
Grazie. Ciao.